Dr. Ben here. Found a fascinating article. Really wanted to share this information with you. I absolutely loved it. So researchers at Michigan State University in East Lansing, Michigan have discovered some very interesting things about what we call the enteric nervous system, which is essentially the brain that's inside your gut. Okay, your nervous system, as you may or may not know, involves your brain, your spinal cord, and all the nerves throughout your body. Okay, and the brain and the spinal cord are generally considered the central nervous system. But what we have are called various what we call plexuses, or like subunits of the nervous system, where like there's big clusters of nerves. In Eastern philosophy, they call these areas chakras. In Western medicine, we call these plexi or plexuses. And so we have the enteric nervous system, which is essentially all the bundles of nerves around the gut that give nerve supply to the gut and tell it what to do, what peptides to secrete, squeezing things along, all that stuff. Okay, so the digestive system is controlled by the nervous system. We know this. Okay, I talk about this in my videos all the time. And of course, the problem is that most gastroenterologists in Western medicine aren't looking at the nervous system because they're just focused on the gut, right, which is supplied by the nervous system. But when you don't look at it from a holistic perspective, oftentimes you lose sight of the big picture. So I've been talking for a long time about how important the role of the nervous system is with the gut, and how the food you put in your gut is important, which a lot of gastroenterologists don't believe. But then the nerve supply to the gut is super important too. So these researchers at Michigan State University were actually looking at that because they realized that the nervous system might actually have a role in irritable bowel syndrome, which, interesting fact, they say in this article that 11% of people worldwide have irritable bowel syndrome. I didn't know it was that many. I know a lot of people were suffering. I read another article recently that said 15%. Like, when I got into this, I wanted to help people who had similar problems. I didn't realize there were so many of y'all. So I'm glad to be helping. Anyway, I feel like I'm going on a rant here. Anyway, what they figured out was that there are basically two types of cells in the enteric nervous system. That's a gross oversimplification, okay? But there's the neurons, and then they're called the glial cells, which are like kind of like neurons, supporting, they're part of the nervous system. And what they found was that one type of cell secretes an inflammation peptide or hormone to the other, and that one receives it, and that's part of the inflammation cascade. So what they are developing is a way to block the receptor so that the inflammation peptide that one neuron sends to another never gets received. Okay, so we're definitely looking at the nervous system. That's good. I'm glad scientists are doing that. But again, your strategy here, what is your strategy? Your strategy is to essentially interfere with a natural process. You're not boosting the body in any way. You're not removing barriers. In fact, you're creating more of them. So you're basically like turning off the inflammation signal, the pain signal, the something's wrong signal. Okay, this is equivalent to like your car gets like the check engine light. So what do? You don't take it in for maintenance. You just kind of put a piece of tape over the light so you have to look at it all the time. Problem's still there, right? Like, engine still needs to be checked. So this is basically the same thing of just like shooting the messenger, turn off the signal. There's a problem, don't tell me about it, right? We can develop drugs that just essentially interfere with bodily processes and don't actually, do any good, right? So my strategy, a little bit different, okay? Feed the right foods to the body, all right? So you take out the crap, you're removing barriers to healing, right? You take out the junk food, you're removing barriers to healing. It's a lot easier for the body to heal itself when it's eating mostly fresh fruits and vegetables, okay? Second strategy, return proper tone to the nervous system. This does not mean cutting the nervous system or putting drugs in there to interfere with it. This means working within the body's natural means, okay? So meditation, breathwork, chiropractic care, these are all things that have essentially no side effects and can help restore proper tone and function to the nervous system, which controls the digestive system. So if you're interested to learn more about that, definitely download the Digestive Rescue Blueprint. I'll put a link down below, and I'll catch you guys next video. Thank you so much for watching. If you're suffering from digestive issues like IBS, leaky gut, Crohn's disease, or ulcerative colitis, I've created a special gift for you. It's my Digestive Rescue Blueprint, yours free when you sign up for my email list. As someone who suffered from terrible digestive issues for many years, I know what you're going through. and I created this guide with the information I wish I could have had all those years ago.